Hey, welcome to the Conspiracy Kings, and today...
That's your camera.
Hey!
You don't think you should talk to that one, too? Like, as it starts out? You could start there and just, like, drift over.
Okay,
Sorry.
Let
me see the slow drift. Let me see what it looks like. Go ahead, go.
Hey, welcome to the Conspiracy Kings, and today we're going to talk about... That's right. Movie time.
The whole episode?
The whole episode, man.
Was I not supposed to tell them?
No, you're not. Well, it's out in the open now. Spoiler alert. So, yeah, because we didn't really study.
No.
We were going to do... we were going to do something else, weren't we?
You were the guy who jumped out of the plane with the
Oh,
money.
yeah, D.B. Cooper. Cooper.
D.B. Cooper.
My bad. So, do you want to do an intro story?
No.
It's movie time. Darling, we're headed to the cinema.
Okay, let's get into this then. So we're going to talk about movies. We're going to talk about genres and drill down to what's inspired us, what we love, what we hate, what I think is just the quintessential moments in cinematic history. We're going to talk about Joseph Stalin as a director. No, he wasn't. Anyway, let's get into this. So let's talk about action movies, man.
Wait, you're serious? I read up on D.B. Cooper.
Did you? I'm
You're
sorry.
already prepped.
I'm sorry.
All of my notes mean nothing.
Oh, here's our
He had his
special...
whole senior thesis on it because of this episode.
Here's MJ Cooper, our special guest.
Who's MJ Cooper?
I don't know. It's just all I had. I've been drinking this apple juice, and it's just I'm over appleized.
Good apple juice.
It's really good apple juice. So
Action?
Action.
Action Jackson.
What's inspired you through the years? Let's talk about early years. You know, let's just what
early?
Yeah, talk to me.
I was born in 1978.
Oh my gosh, you're old.
So I was 2 when the 80s hit. And
Yes.
it seems like every movie in the 80s was like
did you see
cheesy action.
Ernie and Bert take over Los Angeles?
No.
Oh my gosh, that was just the greatest.
From
action
Sesame
movie.
Street?
Yeah, oh my gosh, it was so good.
Is this real?
No.
I don't know. I can't tell with you. You just think of like the Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sylvester Stallone. That
They
type
pretty
of-
much set the gold standard for the 80s action movie.
Mm.
Kurt Russell, even for that matter, for if you want to bring up Big Trouble in Little China. Which
Didn't
I
see
adore.
it. Are those like the grind? What are those movies?
Oh,
with
Grindhouse? No,
Yeah.
not at all. Big Trouble in Little China, you've
Yeah, I
honestly
never saw it.
put it on your list.
Come on,
dude.
I was 2 in 1980.
Well,
How old were
It
you?
was like 1984, 85. So 7.
Okay, so 7. I'm
Growing
watching
up in a
R-rated
deeply
action.
religious house, yeah, you
Yeah,
should have
R-rated
absolutely
action
seen
movie.
this.
But I was still watching with my TV versions, edited TV versions was very common.
It's a PG-13 movie. I'd give it. It's funny. It's probably lost a bit because of time, but I don't know how did we get into Big Trouble in Little China of all the great action movies out there?
What style? What was it?
Kung Fu / horror / action
Okay.
/ not intrigue.
I'll have to go back.
It's a good
and
movie.
see it.
It's got the Kurt Russell humor. Sorry.
Fun.
You know, it's got the whole Asian like kung fu genre in there, and it's got monsters. It's phenomenal. And
Got it
they're
all.
actually doing a remake. It's been in the process for like 4 years, where The Rock will now be Jack Burton instead of Kurt Russell.
Okay.
So
Why did you apologize to him? Because he's too
Our-
young and he doesn't
our-
know what
our-
the 80s.
no,
you
our
guys
leg
are
hairs are
old.
touching.
We
our leg hairs, and it's
we
just weird.
a lot older. When were you born? 03. He's a zoomer.
He's a
right?
zoomer.
Is that it?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what would you say is your quintessential action movie?
Quintessential. Define quintessential.
Necessary.
Necessary. So if you want to know, like, if we were going to send up into space, kind
Yeah,
of like the golden
that's
record
that's a great concept.
to
Yeah.
aliens.
I like that.
Maybe Predator.
Wow, really? That's an old.
I
That's
don't-
late
I don't know.
80s.
Well, I mean, you're quintessential. I mean, it really, things probably peaked at that point. I mean, we don't want to jump into Avengers movies or something right now.
Nah,
at this point.
let's leave that alone. I think that's a different.
Yeah, I
genre.
won't talk about that at all.
Not
tonight.
at all. Not
I won't.
until
Ever.
we get to number 9.
Number 2, I think.
Number
Yeah.
2. I think for me, I mean, because it's funny because there's movies that like Big Trouble in Little China, classics, and I love them. And I showed my kids, and they were like, "Dad, this is absolutely horrible."
Yeah.
They hated it.
Didn't age well.
But then you see a new movie. It's like when I ask my kids, we'll go see a new movie, and especially when they're younger, and it'd be an action movie or let's say an MCU movie, and I would say, "Oh, so what's your favorite movie?" And it would be that movie that they just watched. So it's like there's a freshness in you too, and so it's really hard to like
Are you saying there's a
gauge.
lack of rewatchability for those movies?
It's just weird because there are the ancient ones which are classics to you, but then there's the freshness too. It's like I want to see this another 2 or 3 times, but you need to let it sink in for another 5 to 10 years to really gauge how good it was for you, as far as like, you know, what it means to you as a person. I know that sounds like we're like philosophical.
The romanticizing almost of it, not realizing it. There was a movie I might have been made in the 50s with Audie Murphy. Most decorated war hero of all time.
I loved him in Trading Places. He was so good.
I don't understand the joke. But
he was on Saturday Night Live. You know, it was like he was Donkey Shrek.
Oh, Eddie Murphy.
Oh, Eddie. It's not Eddie.
Yeah,
Murphy.
Audie Murphy. Who's the real deal? Most decorated of all time. It's actually who Captain America was patterned after. I remember watching my mom.
I know who he is, actually.
It's odd if you know my mom that she loved old war movies, especially World War II. So she definitely got me hooked at a young age. But there was a movie called To Hell and Back, and I watched some of it, and it's hard for it to hold up for something that was made in like the 40s or 50s. But just to show how ridiculous that guy was, most decorated war hero of all time, starred in his own movie,
movies, which is unheard of these days.
And they had to like, some of it wasn't believable, so they had to pull some of it back. But I'm waiting for the day when a real director, maybe you would direct and do a new movie about Audie Murphy, because it's long overdue.
Would you do like a biopic, or would you do like him in the war?
Is that how you say it? Biopic?
Yeah.
Not a biopic?
No.
Is pic mean like picture, like a bio picture?
No, like because he's like a biopic. It's books.
Quality.
Would it maybe an autobiopic?
Autobiopic, yes.
We'd have to bring him back.
Yes.
But
I get it. Next, well, I was gonna say for my action movie, which
No, I don't care. Just
okay,
move on.
No,
Please don't. Yeah, I'm sorry. Cashews?
Yes, please. Well, yeah, we'll do this.
Action movie.
Shake it.
Sean. Oh, you have notes in here. I could tell you what it is. Do you want me to tell you what your
Tell
favorite?
me what my favorite movie is.
Your favorite action movie is The Accountant.
So right now, yes, it is.
Right now,
It's
things
a great
change.
movie.
Yeah.
It's fun. But it's not your typical hero. That's what I love about it.
I have a favorite scene in that movie.
Wait, let me guess.
Without spoiling.
Is it when the brothers like all just go like
No.
BSC on those guys?
I love there's definitely a huge time in my life where spectrum stuff was like really big, because it seems like so many people are afflicted to it, and maybe everybody is on the spectrum in some form. I mean, it's a spectrum. Somebody's got to be on it somewhere, right?
I think I am.
Yeah, without a doubt. Or maybe it's just I'm a guy, and the guys just seem like they're on the spectrum sometimes.
All guys are on the spectrum.
There's a brutal scene, and then there's just an elderly couple that are just like watched the whole scene in The Accountant we're talking about.
Oh, is that when he was like?
And he just pops up, and he just sees the elderly couple, and he's just like,
he
just walks away.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. That's what I love about it, because he's just not a conventional hero, and but he was like wholesome in his own weird way.
Mm-hmm.
How about you?
favorite action movie?
Yeah. What's your name, by the way?
Micah.
Hi, Micah.
Nice to meet you.
Welcome. Nice to meet you.
Yes.
Pleasure.
Mm-hmm. Why am I here?
Yes. Why are you here?
I was asking.
Is that a question?
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, I think I invited you, right? I was like, you
Yeah.
like movies, and
Yeah.
you're like,
You're
yeah,
very
okay.
talented director.
That's
true.
That's true.
Very
Super
humble.
low bones.
Low
is that what you
bones.
call it?
No, you gotta do that. So yes, give us the spill the tea.
Action.
Action.
It's not really your genre. You're more of the film student type, right?
D.B. Cooper.
D.B. Cooper is your favorite. Is there a movie about that? There had that little bit of
Loki.
Loki. But has anybody ever made a movie?
Yeah, there is a crime movie where it was actually it was either one of the FBI agents or one of the sheriffs in the town that turned out to be. I can't remember what it was, what show it was from.
Netflix special. It was pretty good. I think we should just copy the Netflix special and just do the same thing that they did. Go
That's
down
true.
The same list.
Yeah, then we get sued.
Next
I love
episode.
it. I love being sued. I know a boy named Sued.
What are they going to do? Like, you can't monetize any of this from what you've made on
no,
YouTube.
it's
Like, oh man,
We're taking away 100% of your profits.
you're taking 100% of zero.
Favorite action movie? Would Bourne Identity?
Absolutely.
fit into that?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think that's
Which one? Like the
first
series?
the first one.
The first one, yeah,
Right.
definitely. What do you think of the last one?
with Jeremy Renner.
Just on board. No, the one
Oh
after.
no, you're right though. They did Jeremy Renner, and then they
Bourne
kind of wrapped
Legacy.
it up.
Then
with
did they wrap? I hope
the
they
final
didn't wrap
Bourne.
it up because
Didn't they do 3?
Oh, the fifth. Yeah, there was a
They
fifth.
did 3 with Damon.
They did
Then
4
they did
total. Damon.
Renner, which probably my favorite, and then they came back with the fourth,
fourth.
Damon one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sure. But now there's a new show called Treadstone.
Oh, for real?
I haven't watched it.
Oh, okay.
No. We should recommend it. We haven't seen it, but you should watch it.
I usually feel like those are just watered down with like B actors and
Yeah.
like Shooter. I don't know if you ever saw that show.
No, the movie was great. I figured.
Yeah, and I tried the series. I was just like, oh, this is just a young.
Was it watered down?
It's like they're trying to turn the movie into like a full season.
Yeah. So watered down then.
That's definitely watered down. Is there a sign on my back? I usually feel like those are just watered down with like B actors. Watered down.
The Bourne movies derailed the Bond movies, from what I understood. That's why they
Took them off the top.
They kind of did like not a reboot, but that's when they brought in what's his name, who's the current one,
Daniel
who's
Craig.
on his last one now. Yeah, they brought in Daniel Craig, and they really
Make it
changed
grittier.
it up. Yeah, yeah, those action sequences.
Those are the best James Bond movies, in my opinion.
Which it's interesting with Bourne. What happened when they released it? They were going up against like some kids movie, like
Kids.
maybe like the second Toy Story or something.
Yeah.
And it was just like they didn't expect it to be as big as it was.
I didn't think it would be because I didn't think of Matt Damon as an action star.
That's
He
true.
was like Goodwill Hunting, or he just didn't, and he sold it. He was great.
They changed how they did a lot of those fight close quarter action scenes.
Yeah.
Fight close and
It's kind of like the John Wick type style of fighting.
gun fu.
Well,
before it was
there was a
gun
little
fu.
bit of gung fu in that, I think,
bit.
too, right? Not
He
gung.
usually it was a little bit like John Wick and Jackie Chan because he uses like his surroundings. Didn't he use like a magazine in one thing? He was like,
He used a magazine. He stabbed the guy like through his hand.
Oh.
Remember that? Yeah.
Oh, that sounds terrible.
Yowza.
Anytime you something in the hand or fingernails.
Oh,
or-
fingernails are the worst.
eye.
Or teeth.
Or like
Like, mess
paper.
with-
Remember that in Jackass where they like did the paper cut on the mouth? It's
No,
just
but
like,
that's terrible.
oh.
Have you ever seen things when people are like simulating like they're flossing their teeth and it's always this sawing motion? I'm like, what are you doing? You're cutting your.
Gosh, it looks like one of those survival saws for wood. It's just like your jaw's gonna
I got
fall
one of
off.
those on me now.
Really?
No.
Oh, okay. You want to move forward? You want to go into superhero movies?
I mean, if we're depleted on action, yes.
No, I could talk about action. This could be its own action series right here.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
You know, I don't know, but I know somebody, a female, and
know
when
a
the
female?
action scenes, I do. I didn't want to name names.
Oh, okay. Who is she? Are we related to her?
I am in some way,
Okay.
legally.
Okay.
They put her to sleep. Like the
put
action
your-
scenes. When the action scenes go on, they put her to sleep. So it's definitely a demographic thing.
I think it's and some people would show me. I think it's the hunter in men that crave action movies. The hero, the provider.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I know some would say that's an old school way of thinking, but whatever. It's the same way with my family. They're like, hey, let's watch like Jane Austen. And I'm like, no,
Okay.
I don't want to do that.
No.
And my rule is, because if the 4 girls and the lady, if they ask me to watch a movie, and this is a written rule, if somebody doesn't die violently within the first 10 minutes, I'm done. I can walk out.
Yeah.
It's a standing rule.
Mm-hmm.
So I got that going for me.
It's understandable.
Got it on a
Yeah.
plaque on the wall.
Yeah. I need intrigue.
Action
I
movies.
don't want. I mean, romance is great, but you want to get into adventure?
Sure.
Recently, I guess it's what's sticking with me because it's with this whole this is kind of spur of the moment.
Lay it on us.
I really like Jungle Cruise.
Okay.
I know.
Yeah. It's
It-
family.
It's family friendly. It was fun. I love
Why
The
not?
Rock. I mean,
Why
he's
not?
as manly as they can get.
It's a good genre. It's fun.
It's that.
I think you can be ready for it at any time.
Yeah.
Right? Be
Yeah.
like, do you want to put on something that involves adventure?
Yeah.
Sure.
And then no spoilers, but there was a little twist, and it was fun. I totally enjoyed it.
A little bit. I love the villain in that. Like, that guy.
He was so creepy. You know who he's
Anything
married
he's
to?
in. No.
He's married to Kirsten Dunst, I believe.
Kirsten
Yeah.
Dunst.
From
Spider-Man?
Yeah,
Really?
yeah. And it's funny, if you see him next to her, it's like, oh, they look like a normal couple. But then you see him in Jungle Cruise, it's like, what happened?
Right.
It's like he ate like cheeseburgers for 10 years.
Oh,
and, yeah, it's
put on
just
a
something about... No, it's just something about him just weird.
Yeah, no, he's got... I remember he was like a strange dude in what's the one? Breaking Bad. He was in that.
Was he the burn guy?
And he was referenced as like that dead-eyed freak or something like that. And it's like totally, he's got those dead eyes.
He could be like a white supremacist or whatever.
Game Night. Check him out in Game Night. Have you seen Game Night?
It's a great movie, but
he's the neighbor in that one. He's the cop.
I need to watch it again.
He's the cop neighbor in that one.
I need to watch it again.
The dead eye. He's just like plays like a sociopath. Would that be the best word of a sociopath?
Yeah, or even
what's the difference between a sociopath and a psychopath?
A sociopath has a circle of friends that they protect in their world.
Mm-hmm. And they manipulate everyone outside of it.
Yes, a psychopath believes that the world was made just for them.
Sherlock Holmes has he's like in the British BBC one.
High functioning sociopath.
Yeah.
Psychopath, yeah. So he protects him. Okay.
Whereas I think Moriarty was a psychopath.
Gotcha. That's a good example.
I think.
That's a good example. If you want to get educated in psychology, watch Sherlock Holmes.
Like Ted Bundy, psychopath.
Yeah.
Whereas like Ed Kemper, I believe he was a sociopath. Do you know who Ed Kemper is?
I'm guessing a murderer.
Oh yeah, he was the what was he? Do you know who he is? No. Oh, he was like he was in California. He was like the campus killer or some weird name like that. But he used to work at like a cop shop. And not as a cop, but he would just do things, and he actually finally like grew a conscience after he killed his grandmother or something. He's like, I'm calling in to confess, and they're like, hey Ed. He's like, I'm the killer, and they're like, yeah, that's funny. Yeah. Did you ever see Mindhunter?
No, I saw Zodiac though.
I don't know where to go. Okay.
Sorry. What's Mindhunter about?
It's on one of those channels. It's really good. It's about how the FBI started profiling serial killers, how they came up with what was that called? The FBU or whatever it's called. Yeah, it's a really good show.
3 letters of some kind.
Something like that. Yeah, they interview like Manson, Kemper, what's his name? Son of Sam, all that good stuff. Good show. Really good show. Highly recommend.
Quintessential adventure movie. You can read off my notes if you want.
Oh yeah, okay. I'm gonna guess here.
I mean, wouldn't that be kind of quintessential adventure movie? I mean, that's me as a child.
I agree. No, I was 1985,
4 or 5, so I'm like 6 or 7.
It was
like
83,
10 or 11 or something.
Wait, what movie are we
talking?
Indiana Jones.
Oh, Indiana Jones.
And well, actually, Raiders of the Lost Ark
Trilogy. I mean, Temple Doom wasn't bad. I mean, back then it was still awesome. I mean,
yeah,
look back at now,
it was
like,
not. It was the worst.
It's like saying Doctor Strange.
It was in the lower 50% of the franchise.
Yeah. Good. But still good. I mean, Spielberg and Lucas teaming together with Harrison Ford.
I know.
Indiana. You got the third one. Yeah, there was a 4th one. I completely.
That's what I'm saying. It was in the lower 50% of the franchise, which is ironic. I like the 4th one better than I like the second one.
Really, you don't like Temple of Doom that much? The monkey
brains.
It's like Dr. Jones.
It's like, oh, we want these rocks. It's like, I got rocks.
It was a special rock.
You know what I mean? Over here you got crystal skulls and like the universe.
You know, they use that bridge
the conspiracy
scene.
thing, you know?
The bridge scene. You remember what I'm talking about?
Oh,
the
yeah,
bridge,
absolutely.
the crocodiles in the river.
Yeah.
Below, there's like these bad guys over here, and there's these bad guys over here. Were they all the same bad guys? I can't remember. They use it in film school to describe the 180 rule. So if you have, which camera should I be looking at right now? If you have the 180 degree rule of here's the bridge, right? Here's the bridge, and you have camera over here. You have camera over here. You show all the action in this realm right like here of this bridge. You don't show any of it over here because then the audience becomes discombobulated,
because they don't know what's the left from the right
end. So it's like this. It just always gets. That's the scene. That's the scene that gets used. And how to describe the 180 degree.
Bad guys are on left, good guys on right, or whatever.
Yeah. And I can't remember. Was it bad guys on both ends? I think it was bad. He was trapped. They had both.
But yeah, I'm saying but if you switch around, you're like, which bad guys?
Right. Which. No, because he ends up cutting it. He had nowhere to go. Oh, wait, spoiler. I don't
we're
want to spoil Temple of Doom circa 19.
But didn't they hang down? It's been so long.
It ended up... Yeah, well, I won't spoil anymore. There's crocodiles.
Yeah.
A lot.
You're probably too young for this, but I actually saw this movie in a drive-in in probably the mid to late 70s, which you're probably way too young. You ever heard of Doc Savage?
No.
He was like the original Indiana Jones.
Mid to late 70s.
Yeah, if you get after this, look it up. He was like an adventure guy, kind of almost like an Alan Quatermain, like yeah. But it was a weird movie. It was like kind of supernatural, but it was
Brendan Fraser in The Mummy.
It was that same. It's that same vein. It's that same vein.
Okay.
They almost dressed the same, but it was played by Ron Ely, and you're like, who's Ron Ely? Ron Ely was the guy that played Tarzan in the 70s and 80s.
Okay.
Yeah.
Was he the one who had the great like?
There were several. There was another one, Johnny something. I can't remember his name either. But yeah, it was that I would say would be the quintessential action movie from my life. Next, do you want to get into? Did we get into superhero genre already?
Is that an official category these days? Superhero? I mean, there's so many of them.
I think it is.
I once heard that Robert Downey Jr. No, I once heard that Marvel saved cinema. I mean, right now it's 2021.
Like movie theaters or
and
cinema
movie theaters
general?
are in jeopardy. Like, who knows what the future is between streaming, pandemic, everything that's going on. But I mean, movie theaters were kind of going downhill at that point. And then you had
You just hiccuped.
that's it. Hiccup. Can we start that over? Because we probably shouldn't.
No, I love it.
No. We can't have hiccuping in here. What is this, an episode of Mayberry?
Andy Griffith show?
Yeah, it was totally like a 1950s, like, hey, Andy, I'm a drunk.
Like Barney from The Simpsons.
Yeah, Homer. Marvel basically saved cinema. You could argue to say that Robert Downey Jr. with Iron Man.
Yourself over there?
What's that?
Relieving yourself over there?
Yeah, we got like a little midgets mixing
Can
table.
we take all this out?
Let's talk about sports movies. All right, nobody?
I got nothing.
You got all right. I'm gonna go for me. The Replacements with Keanu Reeves.
Oh,
Yeah,
forgot about
and
that.
Gene Hackman, the great, difficult to work with Gene Hackman.
I spent a lot of money on that movie. I think I went to the theaters watching it twice. It was $1 theater though, so it was $2.
Any given Sunday.
Ooh, is that the one where like
Horrible.
the
Oliver Stone.
the running back, he like pulls the gun so he can make? Oh, that's
the Last Boy Scout.
Last Boy Scout with
Yeah,
Bruce
that's-
Willis. Yeah, he pulls the gun when he's running down the. He didn't have a lead blocker, so he pulled his pistol.
I know. For when my Gators did that.
Check it out. I don't know if you've seen this. Like it'll make if you want to cry. If you're like,
I know what you're talking about.
I would just love to cry right now.
Yeah.
You're thinking Rudy, aren't you?
Yeah, I cry like a baby.
I'll one up you. Facing the Giants. It's
I have
a
seen that.
Christian movie.
I've seen that.
There's this one scene where they're doing a drill. It's just
Is that where he's
amazing.
carrying him on his back,
Yes,
blindfolded?
Yes,
Yep.
we didn't even practice that, and he knew exactly
did.
what I was talking about on that one.
I have no idea what he's talking about.
Facing the Giants.
It's good. It's very inspiring.
Definitely some great movies out there. Remember the Titans, Hoosiers. You can add in your others because we're probably not doing the due diligence here and remembering.
Yeah.
Good
What's
casualties,
the
by way.
what's the Will Ferrell soccer one? Kicking and Screaming?
Yeah.
No, not so much.
Probably the number one sports one though is probably Rocky, right? I mean, as far as like dollars wise.
You're right. You ever seen Warrior
Warrior
with Hardy? Tom Hardy? No, Warrior.
Oh, Tom Hardy. No.
It's amazing. It's like Ultimate Fighting. And him and Edgerton, Joel Edgerton.
Creed?
No, I've never seen any of the Creeds.
You didn't see the Creed movies?
I'm not a boxing guy, and it took me forever to see Warrior. And everybody's like, "You gotta see this. You gotta see it." And when I saw it, I was like, "Yeah, it's great," but it's just like I feel like they go in, they win, then they lose, and then they come back and they win big. That's pretty much a boxing movie. So.
Yeah, I mean, because Creed and Creed 2, so, I mean, they were pretty good. Well, I liked them, but like, I couldn't tell you which one was which at this point.
I think
like,
it's yeah.
Okay, so this might fit into a different genre, but the Karate Kid?
That's sports. Gotta be right.
Yeah, I mean...
It's in the Olympics, right? Isn't karate in the Olympics?
Judo is, I know.
Probably.
No kicking in judo.
You don't know if it's really a sport or not. Dad jokes.
It's good.
Crane kick. No Can Defend. No. 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 Okay.
No Can Defend.
Yeah, it's a comedian called can't think of his name. Gary Goldman.
Try it again. Ready?
Crane Kick. No Can Defend. You know what's funny is that if you look back at which was I think his name's Gary Goldman. He looks back in retrospect and he's like, Daniel was the villain.
Yeah.
He was trying to steal the guy's girlfriend. You know, and they stop him at the beach, but then he like hoses them in skeleton suits and the thing. He was asking for it.
And he kicked the crane kick. Didn't he kick him in the
Illegally.
face? Which somebody got.
Yes.
Yeah, it was illegal. Yeah.
The fix was in.
I think that's why you have that TV show now.
Which one?
The one where Johnny is like the
Cobra Kai.
protagonist.
Yeah,
right?
you're probably right.
Isn't he?
You're probably right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Daniel is the villain in that, I think.
He kind
I
haven't
watched like
it,
one
but he
episode.
looks like he's just like he's trying to be the good guy, but he comes off as a d-bag.
Yeah, he like makes fun of him and like he's like he runs like a car dealership or something, and he walks in and he's like, this jerk, you know.
I think you saw him on video beating out some kids, but he was actually stopping a crime or something.
Yeah. Next genre.
Mystery. Scooby-Doo.
Scooby-Doo. That's at the top of your list for mystery?
No, it's not. I think you would agree with me is The Prestige.
Yep. Oh, man. Is that mystery, though?
There's a lot of mystery in that movie.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of mystery, but it's not like the typical we're
like
trying
who
to solve
done it?
this case. Who
Right,
done
yeah. I
it?
was
But
gonna ask that.
but then you could bleed that over into crime.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
it's true.
I think you can go anywhere. You can paint outside the lines on this one because
You win this one. Shh. Am I allowed to say your last name? Have we used last names?
no, we
on this
have
interview?
not. I will say my last name
Sean
is Shoeberry.
Don't you like advertise the show with your personal account?
No. Oh yeah.
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 His Facebook name is Sean
But I just don't want to
Shoeberry
be so famous where I
on
can't even go out.
Facebook.com. Sean Shoeberry.
That is a concern.
That's right.
Yeah.
You can also find him on Instagram, Sean Shoeberry.
Because I went into like Academy Sports the other day, and I was like, and this lady's like, "Hey, you," and I was like, "Oh, here we go."
Yeah.
She's like, "Welcome," and I was like, "Oh."
You don't do large circles around those people.
There's that one lady. She's just like, "I hope you have a great day." I'm like, "Thanks." And I feel like I have to reciprocate in the exact same manner that she yells at me. And it's just,
Can you demonstrate?
Yeah, she's like, "Hey!" She's like, "Welcome." You ready?
Best
1,
mystery.
2, 3. The
Shamba
Smurfs.
Lama Ding Dong.
Oh, no.
The Prestige.
Predestination.
Predestination.
Yeah.
That is the most. What does that mean?
Oh, I have to check my laundry.
Okay.
All right,
We'll be right back while Sean checks his laundry.
Welcome back.
No cut.
Predestination could possibly be a top 5
Blew my mind.
movie of
Yep.
any movie ever if they could make a trailer about it, but they cannot make a trailer about it because it would spoil it, and you can't spoil this ending. It is ridiculous. If you've ever seen the meme where someone's mind is exploding, it is because they watched Predestination. Trust me, watch Predestination as soon as you can. I turn it over to you, Sean.
Oh my gosh, I left my ham out for 4 days. Spoiler alert.
Because I was thinking about it for so long. We talked about
You can't
quintessential.
talk about it because, you're absolutely right, because you can't talk about anything, and that's why nobody knows what it is.
No. Have you seen Predestination?
Have you seen
Have you seen Predestination?
Have
Have you seen Predestination?
Where is it? There it is.
We have 3 cameras today because we wanted to talk about Predestination.
We're ballers.
All you know about Predestination, if you're going to watch it, is there is a terrorist, and Ethan Hawke is
and wasn't that the kid from
protagonist.
Terminator 2?
I don't know. There was somebody else in it though. There was more
Jodie
than
Foster?
one person. Maybe.
All right, I'm gonna IMDb
But-
it.
Yeah, you can't make a trailer without a spoiler.
If I could recommend one movie, it would be that movie because you're
Quintessential.
absolutely right. Yep. Yeah.
Talked about quintessential.
Yes.
This is the one movie.
It's the one. I'll have to watch it.
It kind of goes
Oh my
into
gosh.
it's a
Actually, it's just Ethan Hawke.
Ethan Hawke throughout the whole thing. No,
Yeah.
there's another. There's at least one.
Nope.
And there's a boss. You're saying IMDb only has
No, I'm
One
saying
acting credit.
no. I'm saying they have a bunch, but there's nobody that I recognize as what I call a high level actor.
Yeah.
So there's time travel. There's some type of Ethan Hawke is an agent of some sort, like a federal agent, and. Thank you for like such great active listening, by the way, because this is helpful.
Yeah.
Because usually we just have a lens here to look at.
That's what I'm here for.
That's what you're here for. No, you great input, man. Great input. Yeah, like I think I love how we're in agreement that if I were to tell anybody a secret movie if they haven't seen it, that right there would just
Yes.
blows their mind.
But I mean, shouldn't we have him on every time? This is like an
Yes.
active listener.
yes,
This is.
I feel
what
like
we need.
we're enriching his life.
Have you seen
we're Lionel
Predestination?
I haven't seen it, so I'm gonna watch it right
Shut
after
it down right now. We gotta go watch it
We
right
are
now.
Lionel enriching his life.
I just feel like dancing on the ceiling.
to cut back on those a little bit.
I think I could do this all night long.
Is that a name of a song?
Hello.
Hello. That was good. I knew that one was. The one before I wasn't sure. That was really good. Hello's the name of one of the songs.
Yes,
It's like
I
a
saw
blind
one-
lady doing a sculpture. I always want to redo that video where, because she does it like perfect on his face, I always want to be like, no.
Okay, I haven't.
I don't know what he's talking about.
No, I think that's the original music video. But then I was
Yeah.
thinking of Jimmy Fallon sculpting his face.
He did, yeah, he did
Yeah,
that too. They
yeah.
did a remake. Yep. Yep.
So I've seen that one. So obviously it was. Yeah, I didn't get the joke until now.
Are we still on adventure movies?
No, we're on mystery. But I think we should jump to war.
I think let's do war movies.
Let's do war. What's your favorite war movie? I'm going to Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah, I mean, hands
We
down.
saw it together.
We did. I had no idea when the beaches of Normandy and like when the hatches on the what they call them,
Yeah.
Donald Ducks, and
Yeah.
they ran out, and then the tourists just like hose
yeah,
everybody down.
yeah.
I had no idea. I had seen World War II movies made from like the 50s, 60s, and things like that, and until I saw that and what Steven Spielberg presented before us, I was like, I had no idea of the sacrifice.
Yeah.
Did you know that on D-Day there are only 2 photos of the beach? There was a guy who he was hired or he was part of the military to go there and take photos, and he took
It's like that job.
He took so many rolls worth of photos of
But
the
they
beach.
weren't they mostly lost though?
Well, they were all great as far as he knew, and then he sent them over to this guy in like the UK to process the photos, and he like messed up so bad. And so there's 2 photos that are slightly not messed up. And that's what that movie's based off of. It's those 2 photos, like the look of those movies. That's,
Really, the shaky cam, because they had the Spielberg, they invented like
Right.
the shaky cam.
right. But like
Yeah.
actually what the boats looked like and how you know
The grainy,
everything.
foggy, yeah.
Everything, yeah.
It wasn't like exactly, yeah.
What-
And
yeah.
Do you know that they actually hired amputees to act in that movie for the
No way.
landing? Yeah, that's like you see people with like missing legs and arms. They truly were missing arms and legs. And there's another scene in there where there's a medic and he's like wrapping up this guy, and all of a sudden he gets like hit. And
He just saved the guy, right?
yeah, well, no, it's a different one. I think it's not what
Okay,
you're thinking.
sorry.
But he gets hit, and you look down, and you see his canteen, and there's a bullet hole, and there's water coming out, and he's like, "Oh, I'm okay," and he goes back to doing what he's doing, and the camera stays there, and all of a sudden you start to see red come through.
In Saving Private Ryan, or
Yeah,
in it?
in Saving Private Ryan, yeah.
Oh,
So
man.
yeah, it's just, and there's that one guy. He's like, "Hey, I just almost got hit," and boom, he gets hit, and he dies.
Yeah.
Just-
No, there's.
Oh yeah, it was like a dented helmet. And
Yeah,
he's
he's
like,
like,
"Oh,
"This is
yes."
your lucky day."
He takes it off.
Yeah.
And
They
he's like,
stop
oh, yes.
the bleeding in Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah.
In Saving Private Ryan, stop the bleeding. And like, yeah, and then like headshot.
Yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Giovanni Ribisi.
Oh, yeah, that's
Right.
right. Yeah,
But,
he was the
man,
medic on that.
No, I mean that and Band of Brothers. I just almost feel like it should be like a citizenship. Like you watch these movies just to see like the
You know-
sacrifice for.
It's funny being a father of 4 girls that I've always stood next to a thing that was every American should watch Saving Private Ryan or Band of Brothers or Black Hawk Down. And I made my girls watch it. And to this day, they're like, "Dad, we're so disturbed." Yeah. But I'm like, you know what? You get it. You get it.
You said
You should be disturbed.
Yeah.
Did you
I
say
agree.
Band of Brothers?
Which was a great.
Well, yeah, he mentioned Band of Brothers, which is
okay.
my all-time favorite in cinematic history.
My
Brothers?
favorite part
Absolutely.
of that
It's up
show
there.
was Jimmy Fallon.
Where he played Jimmy Fallon.
Jimmy Fallon, cheap show host.
Do we have that in here? Did we already start talking about
It's
war
down.
movies?
Yeah,
We've been talking about war movies.
yeah.
Good. I like horror movies. They're the best. Did you ever see To Hell and Back with Audie Murphy.
I've heard of it. I think my mother-in-law used to watch it.
Anyway, the IMDb, that, and there are so many people in that. Did you know that, you know this because you've seen it. I'm pretending like, hey, did you know
Tell
that,
me.
that Magneto, the guy, the newer Magneto,
Are you talking
is in
about
it?
Eric
And
Lesnar?
No. Oh, yeah, that's his real name. What's the real name?
Help me out, guys.
Fassbender.
Michael Fassbender.
And then McAvoy.
Jep McAvoy he was Professor
Yeah.
X. He gets
Both of them are in that.
Yes, I won't tell where he gets not killed.
Simon Pegg. Isn't Simon Pegg
is in it. Jimmy Fallon, as Micah said.
Jimmy Fallon. Ron Livingston, who's in probably
Office Space.
the best,
arguably the greatest comedy of all time.
definitely greatest low budget.
Yeah,
Mike Judge.
Yep, Mike
created.
Judge. Yep, I
Very
agree.
funny.
Yeah, it's such a weird casting for him.
But there's just a load of people in that then after that springboarded into having careers after being in Band of Brothers.
Couple weird players from Pirates of the Caribbean.
Right. Yep. The one dude who has the eye gag all the time.
Rigetti or whatever I think his name is in Pirates. But yeah, it's well, it's funny because they cast a lot of English people to me.
True.
Because they were filming there was cheaper.
I heard they're cheaper. Yeah.
Yeah.
British people because they're dime a dozen.
Well,
because,
you didn't have to move them over there and put them up in hotels. They could just show up at work.
Well, you think about the tiny little island of England versus, England, UK. I'm not sure because there's so many definitions of what you got. UK,
UK is Ireland,
United
Scotland,
Kingdom,
and England,
and UK. Both those are
United
two
Nations.
separate things.
That's the same
and then
thing.
you have England, and then you have London. Like, where's that? And then you have all
Jack
these.
London. He wrote The Call of the Wild.
But anyway, they love theater, and they're great at acting because I think it's
That's
kind of like.
racist.
Maybe. But it's kind of like,
It's
I
a
grew up
good
playing
racism.
kickball, so I'm decent at kickball. And they grew up acting because that's kind of what they do. William Shakespeare and all.
I thought they grew with bad teeth.
Oh, you crossed the line.
Yeah.
No, that's what
now.
that's what I've been told. I'm sorry. I thought Austin Powers was a documentary. Yeah.
I've been looking at the monitor because I keep looking at your screens, and it looks like I'm just bobbing my head back and forth because of the shades. I know audio
Stevie
listeners.
Wonder.
I know audio listeners.
Dude, there's a conspiracy theory that Stevie Wonder can see.
I've heard
Check it
that.
out. Just YouTube it or something. Like Shaq.
Why?
Shaq will say so. Lionel Richie, funny enough, will say that as well, that he can see. Like, there's actually like a joke of him driving.
No.
But there's a joke. Just
it's a
check it
joke.
out.
But there's footage too that I've seen where he'll shake someone's hand like straight out, just like, or like he'll catch himself from falling and grab like the edge of the piano or stuff like that.
Or there's like this conglomerate of all these celebrity singers singing, and someone walks by and hits a microphone, and the microphone starts to fall.
Oh.
He catches it.
Yeah.
He catches it. He just puts it back.
You've seen that?
Yeah. Oh, that's you can YouTube that. You can check it out.
Maybe he's
So,
got like Daredevil like skills.
I wish
I know.
that would be so
I would
cool.
throw acid in my eyes on a heartbeat if I had the skills.
Best Christopher Nolan movie.
You wouldn't be able to watch movies anymore.
That's yeah.
Best Christopher Nolan movie.
Christopher Nolan.
For me,
Worst non Christopher Nolan movie.
what does that mean? Non-Christopher Nolan?
Insomnia. It's just not. It doesn't feel like Christopher Nolan.
Yeah.
So
I
that
would
one's out of
agree.
the way.
Just like a average cop movie.
Yeah.
For me, it's a toss-up between Inception and Tenet. And Tenet's still fresh in my mind, even though
As best.
Gotta look up
Yeah,
his movies.
yeah.
I've
as
only
best.
seen it once. I haven't had the energy to watch it again.
That's the thing. You have to watch it at least twice.
I believe
It's a
it.
really good movie, and I've had a new.
Especially the battle scenes.
Oh, they're so good. And I had a newfound respect for what's his name, the vampire guy.
Who's now Batman?
I know.
Wasn't
And
there a joke about him? Like it came full circle. Like he got COVID, and now he's like Batman. So it's like the bat because COVID came from the bat, and he's Batman.
the bat flu.
The bat flu.
Hey,
So what two movies
what's his
did
name?
you
Michael
say?
Pattinson. Wait, Pattinson.
Robert Pattinson.
Robert
Robert.
Pattinson. And I
Is that no? That's a comedian.
No, that's
So
him.
Inception,
Robert Pattinson.
Dark Knight. Like most people would probably say Dark Knight, right?
I see. Me mentally, I throw that over to the superhero category, but yeah,
Right.
a lot of people like Dark Knight. I like Dark Knight Rises.
Yeah,
That
and I
resonates
might
more
like
with me.
Batman Begins. I would watch
Batman
Batman
Begins
Begins and be
solid
like,
as a standalone
maybe
movie
this
as
is-
itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Could be any of them.
you need Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises to
Did
congeal.
you mention did you mention Memento?
Memento's solid. I never forget this. This is a throwback right here.
Never forget the Memento.
Short-term memory loss is the subject of that movie.
Yeah, tattoos. Anyway, so I don't know. Anyway, so Sam and I were in a Blockbuster.
Who's Sam?
Who's Blockbuster?
What's a Blockbuster?
So yeah, better yet, what is Blockbuster? And we're standing there, on a typical Friday night, like, this all looks like crap. I don't know what to do. What do you want to watch? What do you want to watch? What do you want to watch? And this guy's like, "You guys seen Memento?" We're like, go away, guy. Because I don't want to talk to people.
It's pronounced Memento.
Memento.
I think it was a Memento.
Little tiny grandmother. Memento.
And we were trying to be nice. We're like, yeah, no, we haven't seen it. He's like, dude, you have to see this. And we were like, and I think we were going to put it like around the corner, because we were like, yeah, this is a great idea, buddy.
Oh,
just do like one of these.
the guy.
Yeah, and then so we ended up renting it, and he was right.
Yeah. Somebody did that with Fight Club with me. The same thing.
Oh, really?
I was just like,
Fight Club is Fight Club is one of those. What would you classify Fight Club? That's not an action movie.
Drama?
So wait, just going back. Did he catch
Action?
Mine
Yeah.
Sorry.
section?
Just going back. Did he catch you hiding the disc?
No, I think
okay.
we finally just were like, we couldn't find anything else, so we were like, whatever.
He wasn't like, you're not going to rent that?
Yeah, Addams Family 2 wasn't available.
John Mulaney again. You've been watching a lot of John Mulaney.
I was offended as an Asian woman.
Check out John Mulaney. I'm really afraid we don't have any drive space left on these cameras. We have 3 today that we're actually running. This guy set them all up.
Mm-hmm. Let's do one more genre, and then we can pick up next week.
So if this sounds rude, really, you want to do this 2-part? You want to just end this?
I think we can do it.
A 2-part.
Let's do 3
What's
more.
the next section? 3 more.
I can
We're
just
pushing it.
We could just delete all the footage off the drives and then restart.
Delete everything we've done thus far.
Let's do comedy. Let's jump into comedy.
Comedy.
Did we do crime?
No, that's why I said jump into comedy.
And on a high note.
Okay. Did we do animation?
No, that's why I said jump into comedy.
But does that mean we're not even going to come back to this?
So comedy.
Comedy?
For
me, which was my be all end all, I just if somebody said, hey, put a gun to my head, what's your favorite comedy? Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah. Ace Ventura 2, possibly. Ace
Ventura 2 over 1?
1 came out.
Really?
2, check it out now. 1 is great. I mean, I'm a Miami Dolphins fan.
I
like
know.
Ace Ventura 1 and Dan Marino in it.
I was a Miami Dolphins fan in the 90s.
Yeah, not anymore, huh?
You're a Dolphins fan
I'm
this year?
I'm a fair weather Dolphins fan these days. Sorry.
I believe it. I mean, rightfully so. Dumb and Dumber for a while. Ace Ventura 2. Back and forth.
Something about Mary. I've never cried so hard in a movie theater. Laughing.
You had to wear some Depends.
Oh, definitely some pee-pee came out. It's a fun. You ever seen that?
No.
Well, watch it eventually.
Okay.
He's
hilarious. 18.
Yeah, you're 18.
I didn't want them to know that. Keep going. Did I kill it?
Did we want
I'm
to get
sorry.
into more comedy?
I'm really a sucker for
Quintessential
comedy?
I'm really a sucker for British comedy.
Like Monty Python?
Or
are you talking Edgar Wright?
Edgar Wright.
What was that called?
Stuff.
The Cornetto?
The Cornetto Trilogy, or the Sweet Blood Trilogy, or something like that. Yeah, I don't know, but like
Shaun of
the Dead, Hot Fuzz.
Hot Fuzz is in my list.
World's
here.
End.
World's End.
It's in your list.
World's End.
It's the worst of the 3.
I liked it. I watched it at like 1 a.m.
The last 15 minutes of Hot Fuzz, quite possibly the best 15 minutes of cinematic history. I'm not even joking that. It starts...
You talking about the action scene?
Yeah. What's his name? Simon Pegg.
Yeah.
Does a jump kick the last 15 minutes and chest kicks an elderly woman. Like, that's how it starts. Of the last 15 minutes. Mm-hmm. And the action... Yeah.
And then everything.
Actually, I World's End might be my favorite of the 3.
You're lying. There's no way.
It's really...
I'm sorry.
Shaun of the Dead, it's named after you.
I'm just going to say something. Rosamund Pike.
Is that a person?
Yeah, she's the actress in that.
She's like
just
a beautiful diving pike?
Nope. She's pretty. She was in Jack Reacher. She was the lawyer.
I don't remember.
She's a pretty lady. Pretty
Jack
Lady.
Reacher.
No, I'm kidding though, but probably
That
Hot
brings
Fuzz
up-
would be my favorite.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, kind of slow going unless you really. This is a good cinematic thing here. Check this out. You have to watch. What's the two movies? Bad Boys 2. You have to watch before you watch Hot Fuzz.
you don't.
No, you do. And then
Oh, that's right, 'cause they
also
watch it
Point
in the
Break.
movie.
Point Break. You watch. Yes. You're entirely right. You watch those two movies because what happened is I hadn't watched those for 10 years, and then I watched Hot Fuzz, and they're like, I got to go back and watch Point Break and Bad Boys 2.
Yeah.
The characters are cops who are like have man crushes on these other cops, and then they just
When
like
you do, the
they
camera
repeat.
goes this way, the guns go.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
go
no,
ahead.
Yeah,
you
that's
go.
the Michael Bay. He
Yeah.
invented that shot
Yeah.
with what's his name, Will
that's
Smith, and who's the other
Jaws
guy?
2 invented that shot.
Who did?
Jaws 2.
Jaws 2 invented it?
Well, it was more of a zoom in, but pull the camera away at the same time.
Was
When
that
we're
2 or
editing,
1?
can you show these scenes, please? Just say no.
I don't
and
know.
It's just funnier, and then you do it.
No,
Okay, good.
but I don't know about the copyright of that sort of stuff. So, and I don't want to download entire
Just
movies.
don't do the audio, because then they hear the audio.
It's definitely two different things altogether, but I think that as far as camera tricks, I think Jaws 2 is when Brody was sitting on the beach. They zoomed in, but the camera pulled out. But
That's called the dolly zoom.
Is that what it is?
The one-
And
there's
it was
one you use a
it's
long
like the
angle
background
lens.
like goes weird and
You got
yeah.
Martin Lawrence and Will Smith, and then there's this thing that just like
No, this was straight on.
pulls around. That's called a dolly zoom. I know which one you're
Okay.
talking about.
And
Yeah, the
Jaws
dolly
2,
zoom
it's
is
straight on though.
great.
It's no rotation.
Yeah, Will Scheider. No, Scheider.
Rob
Ron.
Scheider.
Ronald Schneider.
R-
He's sitting there. He's in the
Melissa
chair, and something big
Schmoobaduba.
happens out in the ocean.
That's when he
and
sees
then
the
they
shark.
do the dolly zoom, and
Yep,
it's just like
that's
it's
it.
like it's like this crazy dysmorphia,
You zoom but pull out at the same time.
or vice versa. Both things happen.
Yep.
Next. Another one might be quintessential if you're going to talk about Monty Python and the Search for the
Quintessential.
Holy Grail.
Search for the
Quintessential.
Holy Grail.
I would put that, like, if you're sending that out to aliens and they wanted to see what comedy was.
So-
Monty
Wow,
Python.
they would destroy our planet in a
most
second.
probably most quotable movie of all time.
Is it?
Dispute me on that. I know some people say Caddyshack, but I would say Monty Python.
I swear I was
Python.
married.
Quote, go.
You were married at the same golf course as
Bushwood. What was it called? Bushwood. It was called Rolling Hills Country Club. In reality,
Caddyshack.
you were there.
I was. Was I the who was I? I wasn't. I was just there. It was like, what is it called when
You
you're
were a
like
ring bearer.
you're not even. No, I don't even think I was a
No,
ring bearer.
you're in the wedding party.
No, there's like the wedding party, and you have like the groomsmen, and then there's like the sub
Best man.
groomsmen.
You were
The sub groomsmen. What
you're
were they
Beast
called?
Man.
Beast Man. Horror.
Horror. I have a special affinity towards The Evil Dead, especially Army of Darkness. Bruce Campbell, Sam Raimi. You know, the director of Spider-Man. The
Honestly,
original
know
Spider-Man.
who all they are. I've never seen any.
It's
of
fun stuff. It's just campy humor, horror. I don't like straight up horror. I never cared for
Yeah.
Friday the 13th.
I'd say I lean more towards thriller than horror. I'm not sure what the
Agreed.
difference is there.
No, because horror is just straight up just gore, and
Okay.
thriller I think has a motive about it at least.
Right, it's like psychological.
Yes.
Okay.
Agreed.
Scream was pretty good in how it kind of revamped everything.
It kind of reinvented the horror genre because
little
there was
bit.
a little bit of a twisty twist in
Yeah.
there. But yeah, it wasn't
Get
just
Out.
like I'm Jason.
Get Out.
Never saw it.
I saw
Get
Get
Out.
Out. Jordan Peele, who's like one of the
I
funniest
love Jordan
people,
Peele. Yeah.
and then makes a horror movie, but it's like horror late. It's like M. Night Shyamalan kind of horror,
Yeah.
which is maybe more suspense. But Get Out was really good,
Was it really good?
and then he
Because
followed
he
it
did.
up with
What's the one
Us.
with the
Us.
Us?
Yeah.
Was that
it was
good?
good too.
Was
it was
it?
good. It was
Yeah.
a little bit campier than the others,
Was
but
it?
I liked it.
I love his stuff. But did you ever get into like Freddy Krueger or any of that stuff? No.
Anything that was like a little like demonic
Hellraiser
kind of
yeah,
stuff, like
I'm with you.
definitely
I'm
not
with
in
you.
my house. Growing
What
up.
about? Would you consider what I would call now monster movie? Godzilla. I grew up on Godzilla movies. Was that? Is that? That's not horror.
No.
No.
What would you call that? Monster movies?
Yeah,
I guess.
Because I
Yeah.
love the Godzilla
Creature
movies.
from
I
the
would.
deep.
I would absolutely watch every Godzilla.
Swamp Thing.
Swamp Thing. Well, that was a weird one
Yeah.
from the '80s. That was with Adrian something or another.
Adrian.
No, Adrian McJugs or something.
Adrian. Did you ever notice that in Rocky, like he's like Adrian, and then finally when they meet, they like oh there they are. They get through like the crowd of people. And
he's like,
he's like Adrian, where's your hat? Like that's what he says to him. Your hat's missing. The dialogue in Rocky is the worst. I'm
you know
sorry.
what's funny? He won an Oscar for that.
Did he?
Yes, he
well,
did.
No, for the screenplay or something, right? Is that right?
But still,
yeah,
Not for acting.
he's in the screenplay.
I mean, the whole time he's just like narrating his life. He's like, there's a pet shop, and right there is where there was a fish there, and then a pet shop there. I'm pretty sure. Paulie.
And then Rocky 4, he has a robot.
Yeah. I heard recently, a third of that movie is a montage. A third of Rocky 4 is a montage.
Wait, Rocky 4 was Ivan Drago.
Yes,
with
it was just a
Dolph Lundgren.
montage of him like working out and fighting.
Are you serious?
Like the
previous
music and
crap.
going 1/3 of the movie. It's a montage.
Because he was like
that
lifting
legit?
wood in like the snow.
Yeah,
He was
and like Ivan Drago is like using like computers.
Yeah,
in the
he's got
80s,
like all the
90s.
yeah. Jeez. Would you ever imagine that they
Yes.
would do an Expendables movie back then? What if they said, "Oh, in 30 years, they're going to take all these action stars and make a mercenary movie"? You'd probably be thrilled.
Yeah,
So, what do you want to talk about next, boys?
we're out of SD card space, so
Oh, we're-
go ahead
oh.
and wrap it up.
This is a
right there.
two-parter.
Go.
I love it. Two-parter. We'll see you soon, guys. I can't wait to do this again. We're going to do it tomorrow night.
I fell asleep.
Bye. You fell asleep. Wake up.